Welcome everyone to the April 9th, 2025 meeting of the Baltimore County Design Review Panel. This meeting is now called to order, and I am the chair of the panel, Joseph Yusufero. Before I get into it, I'd ask folks to mute their microphones. There's some feedback that I'm hearing. Great, thank you very much. So we'll start with a roll call to account for the members of the panel that are present on the call. So when you hear your name, please say aye. Mr. Sala?
Aye.
Thank you. Good evening. Ms. Sauce? Ms. Sauce, I think I heard you earlier.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Yep, thank you.
Sorry.
And Mr. Stevens?
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm the chair, Mr. Yusufero. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and review the agenda, the short agenda that you see on the screen in front of you. Marta, have there been any changes to the tentative agenda as published?
No, there are not.
Okay, great, thank you. So at this point, we'll go ahead and review the minutes from the March 12th, 2025 meeting. Through an email on March 14th, 2025, the panel members received draft minutes from the March 12th, 2025 meeting. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the draft minutes? I'm going to take the silence as you
Yes.
have. Thank you. All right, great. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes from March 12th, 2025 DRP meeting?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Hearing no comments, who would like to make a motion to accept the minutes as circulated?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as circulated.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Sala. Do I have a second?
I second.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Stevens. All in favor, if you could come off of mute and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Okay, thank you very much. What I'd like to do now is to read a standard opening statement as it relates to the design review panel. So if everybody again could go on to mute, this might take a couple minutes or so. So Title 4, Subtitle 2, Part 1, Sections 32.4, 203, and 204 establish the Design Review Panel, and we use the acronym DRP. The DRP was established to encourage design excellence and shall act in a consulting and advisory capacity to the agencies involved in the process for reviewing development plans. The objectives for the DRP's assessment include spatial, visual, and functional relationship to the topographical characteristics, the natural and built features of the site, as well as the surrounding features of the site, visual and functional integration of streetscapes, pedestrian pathways, playgrounds, recreational amenities, and parks. Streets and sidewalks are laid out in a safe and convenient manner, and parking is a positive design element. Building, parking garages, and other structures are spatially and visually integrated and suitable to their surroundings in proportion, massing, and types of materials and colors, signage and other elements of the urban design as well. And plant materials are selected and cited to define the site, provide a theme, frame a view, enhance architecture and street character, improve microclimate, provide transition between dissimilar uses, screen objectionable views and uses, and reduce noise levels and glare. In carrying out its duties, the DRP utilizes the guidelines, plans, and architectural principles in the Comprehensive Manual of Development Policies and/or Master Plan, as well as other guidelines and regulations adopted into law. certain areas of the county were designated by the county council to require review by the DRP. The panel will provide a technical review of the proposed project. Issues relative to zoning, setback relief, environmental, and stormwater management and traffic regulations do not fall under the purview of the DRP and are regulated through the appropriate agencies responsible for those aspects of the development plan review process. The panel consists of 9 members. All are professionals with practical knowledge in the matters of design. For purposes of making recommendations on a particular project, 3 members shall constitute a quorum. The attendance and comments of each member shall be recorded in the minutes, which shall be an open record and available, along with all documents submitted to the panel for inspection and copying by the public. There will be an opportunity for the community to offer comments and suggestions at the conclusion of the applicant's presentation. These comments will be included in the written record of the meeting. When a speaker is called up to speak, please keep your comments focused on design perspectives within your allotted 2 minutes of time. And if you're speaking on behalf of a community group, you will be allowed 5 minutes. At the conclusion of the meeting, the Department of Planning will sum up the recommendations of the panel before a motion for a vote is suggested. Recent legislation has changed the panel's recommendations to be advisory on the hearing officer and the various county agencies, unless the hearing officer or agencies find the panel's actions constitute an abuse of its discretion or are unsupported by the documentation and evidence presented. Disposition of the plan will be determined as either approved with conditions, or additional review with a second meeting being required. So thank you for allowing me to read the opening statement. We'll go ahead and proceed to item number 1, which is the only item on the agenda, which is a project called 22 West Pennsylvania Avenue in the Towson DT District Commercial Signage Review. If the presenter would please introduce yourself, the floor will be yours. Please try to keep your presentation to 10 or 15 minutes, and when you'd like the advancing of the slides, please direct Marta to do that. The floor is yours.
Great, thank you. And thank you for this opportunity to present. The following documents provide details outlining the proposed installation of an exterior wall sign at 22 West Pennsylvania Avenue in Towson, Maryland, 21241. Our client, Farmers and Merchants Bank, will have an internally illuminated enterprise sign, would be installed on the east elevation of the building, directly below the existing address sign. The sign's dimensions are 5.5 feet wide, 5.5 feet tall by 12.4 feet wide, with a total area of 68.2 feet. If we could advance. This is the general area of where the building is. On the top left, you could see the building itself from overhead. Then the east elevation to the right of that. West elevation, then the east elevation where the sign's going to be. And below that, the south and the north of the building itself. And then across the bottom, from left to right, are the pictures I took from that street, going up and down the street, across and on the same side. And I believe the next slide shows the rendering of what it'll look like.
Okay, thank you very much. Does this conclude your presentation?
Yes, it does.
Okay, excellent. So at this time, the floor will be open to any public input or feedback from the community. So again, as I mentioned up front, If you're representing a community group, you will be allowed 5 minutes to speak. Those who do not represent the community group will have 2 minutes to speak. So I'd like to turn to the county team, Sean and Marta and Brett. Has there been any speakers that have signed up who wish to speak?
We have no speakers, Joe.
No, we have no speakers for today.
Okay. This is proceeding as expeditiously as possible. Okay, so this will officially close the public comment period. So now that this is a commercial project, there would be a Department of Planning staff report. So Marta, would you please read the staff report?
Sure, thank you, Joe. So the planning department prepared this staff report based on Baltimore County zoning regulations section 259.16.a.6.8, in particular signs. So recommendations are the following. Staff defers the sign approval to DRP and request that the following be taken into consideration by DRP. Given that the Downtown Towson design guidelines do not state any specifics regarding limiting the number of signs per facade, the Department of Planning provides the recommendations based on the underlying BM zoning. Baltimore County zoning regulation section 450 states a single enterprise wall mounted sign may not be more than 150 square feet and only 3 enterprise signs be allowed per premises, no more than 2 on each facade of a building. And this concludes the staff report. Thank you, Joe.
Excellent. Thank you, Marta, for reading the staff report. Yes, I think this, Marta, is the best plan to be on while we're talking about the plan. So let's go to the panel comments. Let's start with Mr. Sala. Mr. Sala, you're up. You can come off of mute. Mr. Sala, if you can hear me, you're still on mute. So if you want to come off of mute, it would be your turn. Okay, perhaps he's having some technical issues. Let's go to Mr. Stevens.
Okay. My comment is very short. I find the signage very appropriate for the facade. It's within the 150 square feet, and it seems to be sized appropriately for the facade. So, I mean, I don't have any issues with it.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Stevens.
You're welcome.
I figured it out. Sorry about that, Joe.
That's
My
okay,
apologies.
Mr. Sala, you're up.
Okay, thank you. Would you mind describing the materials of the sign? I can't sort of read. My apologies there. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of look at that detail a bit more. I do agree. I think the
Sala,
sign. Yes, go ahead.
Would you like the applicant to respond to that? Because if the
if you
applicant,
don't mind.
if
And
Mr.
describe the lighting. If there's any lighting component to it, describe that a bit more, if that's possible.
Yes, it's LED lighting. It's low wattage, but you can see it a long way off. And the materials are 040 aluminum with a baked enamel finish.
How is it lighted? Is it something that projects on top of the light? Is it backlit? What is the?
It's backlit.
It's backlit.
Yeah,
Okay,
what
so-
you're seeing, the face of it is one piece of plastic basically, and it's backlit.
I see. So it'll glow at night.
Correct.
Will it glow? Okay.
It's illuminated. Yep, that's correct.
Understand. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I thought generally from a graphic design standpoint that it is, not necessarily very legible, depending on where you're actually trying, or what audience you're trying to see that sign, and be able to actually make the impact that you're thinking about. But to me, the size is fine. It's not a very big sign. It's not going to have a drastic impact on the public realm. It's off to the side of the building versus the front of the building. So from a pedestrian standpoint, it doesn't really have any impact on pedestrians walking in front of the building. I don't really see any issues with the way it's been presented and documented. So I'm okay with it.
Great. Thanks, Mr. Sala. Let's go to Ms. Sauce. Ms. Sauce, are you in a safe place where you could comment on this?
Yes, thank you, Joe.
Okay.
I echo Mr. Stevens' comments. I think it's well thought out. I think it's a good wayfinding sign for pedestrians, and great presentation. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ms. Sauce. From my perspective, I think it's tastefully done. The address, which is right above, Marta, if you could zoom in to the elevation left side of the page. It's centered on the address, and it appears to be same color scheme. So I think it makes total sense. I also go back to, I know this is the DT zoning district, and the panel is required to review and approve every sign in the DT. But I do use the zoning regulation section 450 as a guide. And I think, as Marta read in the staff report, an enterprise sign in the 450 regs would allow for a maximum of 150 square feet. This is, just about a third of that. So, so I think it makes sense. It's not overly large, and so I have no further comments. So I think at this point, we'd like to move on to a motion. Would one of my fellow panel members like to make a motion on this project?
Well, okay. I make a motion that we approve the signage along with the staff report.
Okay. That's a very short and sweet motion that is succinct. So thank you, Mr. Stevens.
You're welcome.
Before we go to a second, Department of Planning, is that motion clear?
Yes, thank you, Joe.
Great. Okay, so there is a motion to approve the sign as submitted with one condition, which is the staff report. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Sala. There's a second. All in favor, you come off of mute and say aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? I think I heard all in support, but any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Leidick and team, and best of luck. Nice sign.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure. Okay, so we are now at the end of the meeting. I think this might be the most efficient DRP meeting that I've been a part of in 7 years. So at this point, do I have a motion to adjourn the board meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Thanks, Ms. Sauce. Second?
A second.
Excellent, Mr. Stevens. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye as well. The motion carries. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next
Thanks. Have a
week.
good night.
Next month.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care.